Alright guys, welcome back to another video on the channel with my Honda CBX, my 1981 Honda CBX. Today we are going to be pulling the carburetors. Normally this is a very easy job on most motorcycles, but on this Honda CBX it is not an easy job. What I have to remove is absolutely insane to pull the carburetors. Actually I have to tilt this whole engine forward in order to pull the carburetors off the back. This is a lot of work just to do this, but it has to be done. So what all do I have to do? Let me show you. Alright, the first thing I have to do is I have to remove these leg guards right here. I have to remove this whole front fairing as well. The seat and the tank, but I've already removed those, so that's fine. This exhaust has to come off. The front, this axle has to be loosened. The front wheel has to be pushed forward to get some slack in the chain. Then coming on around onto this side, I have to remove the sprocket cover right here. Remove the sprocket. Obviously remove this over here as well. Have to remove the front hangers. I have to remove the front horns, the top engine hangers, this top bolt, and any other engine hangers except for the bottom one. Oh yeah, also have to remove the choke cable, the clutch cable, and disconnect the throttle cables all up here as well. I've got a lot of work to do just to pull these 6 carburetors off, so that way I can clean them, put new O-rings in them, new jets, set them all up, and then they'll be ready to go. So I guess the first thing I'll be doing is probably removing these leg guards, the fairing, the exhaust, and then the horns and everything else. The tachometer has to be disconnected, but that was already disconnected when I purchased this, so they saved me a little bit of trouble there. So yeah, let's remove the carburetors on my Honda CBX. Buy a Honda CBX, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Oh well. Here we go. Alright, so step 1, I've got the exhaust off already. Wasn't too bad of a job, took about 10 minutes. And I don't feel bad about swapping the exhaust now because there's a hole in it and you can see clear through it. So that is not good. That would have to be fixed or replaced either way. So I don't feel bad about upgrading my exhaust. I never really did to begin with. And then for all you purists out there, you can see clear through it. There's a hole in it. Alright guys, a quick little update here. As you can see, I've got the exhaust removed. I have removed the throttle cables. I removed the choke cable, the clutch cable. I have removed everything I need to remove. Remove the sprocket right here. It says to remove this whole fairing, but I don't think I need to. I just disconnect these bolts that hold it on right here. And then the next thing to do is to remove these upper engine mounts here, right here, and then I think there's another one, yep, right in here as well. I think that's all I need to do, and then I can tilt this engine forward and go ahead and remove this airbox and then the carburetors. I've also loosened these up as well, so when the engine goes, I'm not tearing up these rubber pieces. They might already be a bit torn, like that one right there. You can see a crack in it already. And I don't want to crack any more up if I don't have to, but I will go ahead and be putting pod filters on this, so that's not too big of a deal. So that's where I am. Got everything removed, the horns, the exhaust, spark plug wires are all taken off. I think I'm good to go. The rear wheel is loosened up. It's pushed forward. I mean, it was already like that when I got the bike, so removing that front sprocket wasn't a bad job at all. And I think I'm good to start taking off these motor mounts here and here, then swinging it forward. It says to support it by a jack. I've got this little motorcycle jack right there underneath. That's perfect for the job. If you don't have one of those, it's quite handy to have that. You can either operate it by hand or you can put a wrench on there or a drill or whatever you want to jack it up a little bit quicker, but it does the job. So here we go. Alright, wish me luck. I will start removing both of those, and then that one right there, and then I think this one as well, and I leave, I think, this bottom one in, and then it'll pivot on that bottom one. Well, here we go, guys. Alright guys, well, we are there. So I removed these bolts. It said to remove this fairing, but I didn't have to. I just removed the bolt right here on either side that held it in position, and that was enough to be able to tilt this motor forward. So I removed motor mounts here, 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 and then this one right here, and then as soon as I removed this one, the engine went forward a little bit. So I've got this jack underneath it. I will have to lower it to swing it forward a little bit more to get me room here, but as you can see, this air box is now loose, so I should be able to pull that out. So I am nearly there on getting these carburetors off. Next thing I need to do is loosen up all these screws on these boots and then just pull the carburetors off. So it hasn't been too bad of a job. It sounded worse than it was. I've been just kind of down here in the garage listening to music and just kind of zoning out. It took about an hour, hour and a half to do, and that's with stopping and recording updates and all that kind of stuff. So it really is not too terrible of a job to do, but I must confess this is the most work I've ever done to pull some carburetors. So yes, I will be glad I'm running pod filters, because once I'm running the pod filters, I won't have to do all this work to pull the carburetors. I can just remove the filters and then remove the carburetors without tilting the engine at all. So yeah, that's not too bad. If I did it again, I could probably do it in probably half the time, because now that I know what I need to do and how to do it. But it's not too terrible of a job, like I said, but it's still a lot of work just to pull some carburetors off. Alright, and we'll get to it now. Well, alright guys, we have done it. We have the carburetors off. It took a lot of pulling and prying to get these off of the bike. The rubber boots that these were on are extremely hard and probably original to the bike, so it was quite a hassle to get these off. These, I think these have been apart before. Here on the bottom, somebody wrote engine bottom on there, so I'm willing to bet that these have been apart before, and I'm not the first person. But I will have to pull these apart and clean them. And there's a screw broken right there, so I'll have to get that out and replace that. And I don't know what else I'm going to find. Yeah, some of these screws are chewed up on the bottom. That kind of reminds me, hold on one second. Anybody working on a Japanese bike, I recommend a JIS screwdriver. It stands for Japanese Industrial Standard. It looks like a normal Phillips screwdriver, but it's a different angle, different thread pitch, and it bites these Japanese screws a whole lot better, and you don't strip them out or round them out. And they honestly, they fit kind of a little bit better in standard Phillips head screws as well. So if you have an old Japanese bike and you found yourself rounding out the screws all the time, get you a JIS screwdriver. This one is a Vessel. It will quickly become your favorite screwdriver, like this one has become mine. Let's take off this float ball and see what we're looking at. Yeah, a little bit of gunk in here. I'll have to take all these apart and look at the jets. But I will be rejetting these anyway, so that's no big deal. Alright guys, well, thank you for your time. I have the carburetors off. I will be cleaning these and rebuilding them, and then going from there. So thank you guys, and you have a good day. Well, we're kind of looking at this. This is bent a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. So this looks like somebody seated this a little too hard and bent the tip of this. So let me see what I got, see if we can replace some of these. I'll have to figure out the one that was broken off. It's broken off kind of like right here. So I'll have to figure out a way to extract that. Alright guys, well, thank you. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. There'll be more videos coming soon as I go through these carburetors, get the bike back together, get the exhaust on, and see if it'll run on all 6 cylinders this time. Alright, thank you, and you guys have a good day.